Good evening. It's September 8th, 2020, and I'm sorry that I did not get a report out, but I've been kind of waiting for this to pop off, and it took its own sweet time. But as you can see here, we've had this nice bright filament pop off, and it took all day to do it, and it wasn't much when it did. So don't expect this to be big, and it's only going to be a graze, and don't expect it to crack. According to Cactus, it is not even going to crack 500 miles, well below 500 miles an hour. It was a CME, so it is plasma, but it's really moving very, very, very slowly. It would be a blessing if we could get another snap and it would move much faster and pick this up and shove it a little bit, because this is just really, really slow. Looking at NASA's view, they're thinking we're going to get a good graze. NOAA is predicting a graze, but you can see here how slowly this is going. It's almost going in slow motion. That's how slowly it's moving, and they're predicting it's barely even going to touch us. So, and they're predicting, here you can see there's not even very fast wind here, and that nothing, the velocity wise, it's right on the floor. So not much to write home about. We're going to get rain starting Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're going to be in a rainy spot. Let's go look at our sunspots. We've got some new ones. We got 92. We got a new 90, the 3097 that developed. 3094 is falling apart. We got a new one, 3098. So let's take a look. 3092 kind of hanging in there at a 5% chance it's going to develop. 3094 is kind of dissipating. It is down to a 10% probability of doing anything. 3096 is becoming the one we're watching. It's up to a 30% probability, and this is because of the interwoven, tightly margined positives and negatives throughout the sunspot. So that's what we want to watch, and there's 6 different umbra in here with tightly wrapped margins. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, 3097 has 7 sunspots or 7 umbra in it. It is growing. It's up in size by 20. It is up to a 15% chance it's going to keep growing. And our new sunspot has 5 umbra, and it is up by 10. And it has a 15% chance it's going to keep growing. And it is actually the one that produced the flare, C-class flare. So this is the baby that did the damage. But again, it's not going to be much. It's probably going to hit right about the time it starts raining and getting nasty. I do want to commend everyone at how marvelous you did on capturing Steve. And I'm going to ask you to do one thing. The University of Calgary studies Steve. And they take the pictures that they find online, and they match the metadata, the longitude, latitude that they can get for those photos. So get your GPS data written on your photos. The longitude and latitude that you were at on those photos, put it on the front of them. So they can use that information, and they match that with your pictures with the satellite data so that they can study Steve. And that would be really helpful for the University of Calgary to be able to access that information. And it would further the study of that phenomena so they can better understand what's happening. But y'all did a marvelous job, and there's so many different views and so many different ways you photographed it. I'm really proud of all of you. Now, a little housekeeping. When you get into groups, I want you to go over here to media, and you can see here that there's just a clutter of photos, and it's a mess. But there's also albums. And you can go in here and you can pick out an album. And I'm just going to pick out Dale's. And I can go in here and I can look at Dale's work. And I can see what Dale's done over the body of his time of his work. Or I can come over here and I can see, well, Lucy's kind of got an empty album here. Lucy needs to fill up her album. My album, I know I keep my album full. And you can go through see where I started in my first photos right down to my last photos. And you can see how I've grown and how my skill has changed. And these are really important for people to invest in you as artists. So they can see how you've grown and how your skills change. And when you change equipment, how that changes your photography. And when people can watch those kind of things, they feel more invested in you. And it does help keep our feed straightened up so people know who took the photos. You know, if we all just throw random photos up there, it kind of gets to be messy and you don't know who took what. So this way people can go in and go, wow, I really like this artist. And now I can go in and see all the work they've done and know exactly what they've done. So every group has a media page and they have the ability to go in and make albums. So please go in and make your albums and use them. Do not just drop random pictures on the page, put them in your albums. This benefits you, the artist, and the photographer, because people can invest in you and they can learn from you and they can follow you, not just pretty pictures randomly stuck up on a page. There and then gone, if you get what I'm saying. So we want to make sure people are really investing in our artists. Because when people invest in our artists and our really good ones are out there pulling up the ones behind them and mentoring them, that makes everyone get better, because the lead artists are getting better because they're teaching the ones behind them. The ones they're teaching are getting better because they're learning and they're turning around and teaching the ones behind them. And pretty soon, we're going to have the best photographers in the world in the Great Lakes region. And the world will know, if you want a dark sky photographer and you want to find the best in the world, you come to the Great Lakes region, because that's where they are. And that's why we do what we do. Because someday they're going to be coming to look to us because we're the best in the world. So get in your groups, share, mentor, talk to each other, learn from each other, get better, build your skills. We're going to start working on art shows. We're going to start working on ways to showcase your work. We're going to get you out there. You're going to be the best in the world. All right. Have fun this week. Might be a little rainy. Take a break, recharge, get in there, learn some editing. Get in groups. If you need help with editing, ask. If you need some free programs, let me know. Get in there, ask questions. That's what groups are for. Have a great day.